What's going on, monsters? It's Mike and I'm back with a new video. So today, we're going to talk about the top 5 modern decks that you can buy with your stimulus checks. I know everybody's excited. Well, a lot of people are excited. I know we can't pay bills and buy groceries, well, some of us. But you can get a $600 stimulus check, and you need to buy Magic cards with that. So, I'm going to talk about the top 5 modern decks you can buy with your stimulus check. All these decks are going to be under $600. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with our number 5 slot is going to be Dredge. So Dredge has been a mainstay in Modern for a really long time, and basically the whole purpose of this deck is to dredge and get your entire graveyard or entire deck into your graveyard while bringing back those creatures from the graveyard using cards like Bloodghast and Prized Amalgam. And what they do is they reoccur themselves at certain points in the game. So you're basically dumping your whole deck into the graveyard, or trying to dump your whole deck in the graveyard, and then bringing back these creatures and swinging for a gigantic amount of damage. There are also other cards that can give the deck a little more reach in order to kill the opponent, like Conflagrate and Creeping Chill. And what they do is those are like the direct damage cards for the deck. What you want to do is you want to facilitate cards like Life from the Loam, Stinkweed Imp, and Shriekhorn in order to get your cards from the deck to the graveyard. It is an awesome deck for beginning Modern players. I would suggest that if you want to play this deck, you have, the basics under your belt with Magic the Gathering, but coming in at $5.59 for the deck, and this is MTG Goldfish, so the prices are a little inflated. It's an awesome price for a deck that has been in Modern for a really long time. You know you're not going to necessarily get hurt on any ban lists at all. Its one inherent weakness is obviously Graveyard Hate. Things like Leyline of the Void and Relic of Progenitus. Things that destroy or remove the graveyard from the game. So, awesome deck at number 5 for under $600 that you can use your stimulus check on. So coming in at number 4 is going to be AdNauseam. AdNauseam is a combo deck that has been in Modern also for a really long time. It has had some new additions like Thassa's Oracle, and it's just another win condition for the deck. It acts as your Laboratory Maniac. So it has an alternate win condition in the deck itself. And the whole point is you want to cast this card AdNauseam as fast as possible. And naming, a card that's not in your deck to mill your entire deck and cast your Thassa's Oracle while having cards like Angel's Grace up. And you protect the combo with Pact the Negation and basically your life with Phyrexian Unlife. So it's a combo deck that you want to mill your whole deck out. And your ramp cards are cards like Pentad Prism, and you want to play Lotus Bloom on turn 1. So the deck is really, really, really cheap at $4.96. And there's no fetch lands in the deck, so that's kind of good. You're not really spending a majority of your money on the land base. City of Brass is a little expensive, but other than that, I think everything else seems really good. Its inherent weakness, honestly, is disruption decks that run Thoughtseize and stuff like that. And basically, Thoughtseize is a card that just rips a card out of your opponent's hand for you new to Modern players. And this is an excellent deck to buy, especially if you're a veteran Modern player and you want to get into a new deck. So, great deck, and with your stimulus check, you'll still have $100 left over. So, awesome deck. Check it out. Check some videos out online of AdNauseam. I think it's a great deck to buy for $500. So, coming in at number 3 is a tale as old as time, which is Burn. Basically, you want to burn your opponent out as quick as possible with cards that have very low converted mana costs like Goblin Guide and Monastery Swift Spear, while using direct damage cards like Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, and whatnot. It has a light splash of white for cards like Boros Charm and Lightning Helix, and for sideboard cards, Path to Exile to deal with some pesky creatures you can't get rid of. It also has like a side strategy where you play this card Eidolon of the Great Revel, and basically when your opponent plays something, they get burnt. You get burnt too, but since you're dealing damage faster than they are, that card is just a total hindrance. It's a deck that has also been around for a really long time, and you don't have to worry about cards getting banned out of it. Good thing about this deck is that it does come with these fetch lands, 2 Arid Mesas, and it's playing Scalding Tarns. So you're literally getting some of the expensive fetch lands, and your other cards are so inexpensive that it doesn't really necessarily matter that you're putting more of the money towards the fetch lands. Also, it's good to have the fetch lands for other decks. So I think Burn is a solid pick at close to $500. It's at $497. And yet again, this is on MTG Goldfish, so you can find the cards for probably cheaper. This is an awesome deck. I do have a Burn deck for Modern, and it's great if you just want to pick up, lend it to a friend. It's easy to use. It's one of my favorite decks to have just handy and to teach people how to play Modern with. It's very easy to learn, but very, very, very hard to actually become a master of Burn and learn the ins and outs and the intricacies of it. So, we're going to go to the number 2 slot. Coming in at number 2 is Mono Red Aggro. To be more specific, this is going to be Obosh Aggro. You're using Obosh as a champion, and what Obosh does is, if a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage. So everything in your deck is going to be an odd amount of mana, and it's going to be a damage source. So Bomat Couriers, Swift Spears, Soulscour Mages, Bone Crusher Giants, stuff like Firebolt, Flame Slash, Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt. You're getting so much value off this Obosh. The extra damage is just happening. It's great. This deck is super competitive also. It's a great deck for a new player to come in Modern and learn how to play and not get totally crushed. The only downside is you have to play only odd number of converted mana cost cards and lands. That's still not a big deal. The land base is insane. It's 2 Blast Zones and 18 Mountains. You're not wasting any money, and the whole deck costs $220. That leaves you with a lot of your stimulus check left. You can buy a lot of ramen with the rest of that stimulus check. So, in all seriousness, this is a great deck. If you don't play Modern, this is the reason you should try to play Modern, because you can have a deck, and it's a one-time thing of $220. This deck won't be changing anytime soon. So, awesome deck to just learn and play with for the Modern format. But coming in at number 1, so right now we actually have a tie for the number 1 slot. The number 1 slot is going to be Tron Variants. So you have Normal Tron and Eldrazi Tron. They're actually 2 separate strategies, but they both use the Urza's Mine, Plant, and Tower to bring out these big spells that are colorless. So we'll go at Tron first real quick. Tron is one of the oldest Modern decks in Modern. It's an awesome deck to have. It can win you events very easily. It's known as the unfair deck, and it has always been in the meta. It honestly is the gatekeeper of the meta. It's a control type deck that allows you to bring out cards like Ulamog, Karn Liberated, Ugin the Spirit Dragon way earlier than normal. It's base colorless, but it does have a splash of green for things like Thragtusk and Sylvan Scrying. And the whole point is you want to get Urza's Mine, Urza's Plant, and Urza's Tower on the field and play those cards and just end the game. Ulamog is 10 mana, so you get to cast that if you're lucky enough to get the correct lands on the field on turn 4. Karn Liberated comes on the field on turn 7. It's also very versatile because you have cards like Karn the Great Creator, which allow you to go in your sideboard and dig for an artifact that you need. So this is a great deck at $460, but tied with its brother is going to be Eldrazi Tron. And Eldrazi Tron is $30 extra, but it's also more of a creature-based deck. It has cards like the Walking Ballista, Matter Reshaper, Thought-Knot Seer, and Reality Smasher. So these lists vary a little bit because it's on MTG Goldfish, but for the most part, the core of the deck is all the same. And the whole point is to bring out Urza's Mine, Tower, and Plant. But this deck does not just lose if you can't get those cards out. It has a backup plan. It allows you to play cards like artifacts like Chalice of the Void, which don't allow your opponent to really play the game. And it's just a little bit more of an aggro version of Eldrazi, or a little more aggro version of the regular Tron deck. So these two decks are coming in at my number one slot. So Eldrazi Tron is about $492, and yet again, it's on MTG Goldfish, so you can get it for a little bit cheaper. So two decks that are awesome meta decks for under $500 right now. So I would look into these decks. These are my number one pick for modern decks that you should buy with your stimulus check. All right, monsters, that was my top 5 decks that you can buy with your stimulus check. If you guys like my content, please give me some thumbs up. If not, give me some thumbs down. If you really like my content, please subscribe. You can find me on Instagram at TheMidrangeMonster. I do tons of giveaways there, so if that's your thing, go check that out. But till next time, monsters, I'll be seeing you.